Pre-flight procedure CM1. EFIS control panel set. Minimums reference selector, radio or barrow. Minimum selector, push to blank minimums. Flight path vector switch as needed. Meters switch as needed. Barometric reference selector, inches or hectopascals. Barometric selector, set local altimeter setting. VOR ADF switches as needed. ND mode selector map. ND center switch as needed. ND range selector as needed. ND traffic switch on. Weather radar off. Verify that the weather radar indications are not shown on the ND. Map switches as needed. Mode control panel set. Flight director switch on. Auto throttle arm switches arm. Autopilot disengage bar up. Heading track reference switch as needed. Heading windows set. Set heading as needed. Bank limit selector auto. Vertical speed, flight path angle, reference switch as needed. Altitude windows set. Set the first altitude restriction, if applicable, otherwise set to filed cruise altitude. Altitude increment selector as needed. Oxygen. Test and set. Oxygen mask stowed and doors closed. Reset test switch, push and hold. Verify that the yellow cross shows momentarily in the flow indicator. Emergency test selector, push and hold. Continue to hold the reset test switch down, push the emergency test selector. Verify that the yellow cross shows continuously in the flow indicator. Reset test switch and emergency test selector, release. Verify that the yellow cross does not show in the flow indicator. Normal 100% selector, 100%. Electronic flight bag, set. Power switch push, adjust display brightness. Ident page, check. No messages displayed on the title line, effectivity dates are current. Initialize flight, select. Verify departure and destination airports. Forward panel brightness controls. Mid position. Instrument source select panel set. Navigation source switch off. Display control source switch off. Air data attitude source switch off. Clock set. Time date selector UTC. Inboard display selector MFD. Heading reference switch normal. Do the initial data and navigation data steps from the CDU pre-flight procedure and verify that the IRS alignment is complete before checking the flight instruments. Flight instruments, check. Verify that the flight instrument indications are correct. Verify that only these flags are shown. TCAS off. No V-speeds until takeoff V-speeds are selected. Verify that the flight mode enunciations are correct. Auto throttle mode is blank. Roll mode is toga. Pitch mode is toga. AFDS status is flight director. select the map mode. Integrated standby flight display, set. Verify that the approach mode display is blank. Set local altimeter setting. Verify that the flight instrument indications are correct. Verify that no flags or messages are shown. Alternate pitch trim levers, neutral. Speed brake lever, down. Reversed thrust levers, down. Forward thrust levers, closed. Flap lever, set. The flap position indicator does not show when the flaps are up. Set the flap lever to agree with the flap position. Parking brake, set. Verify that the parking brake set message is shown. Note, do not assume that the parking brake will prevent airplane movement. Accumulator pressure can be insufficient. Stabilizer cutout switches, guards closed. Fuel control switches cut off. Fuel control switch fire warning lights, verify extinguished. Alternate flaps panel set. Alternate flaps arm switch off. Alternate flaps selector off. Captain audio control panel as needed. Again, warning, do not put objects between the seat and the aisle stand. Injury can occur when the seat is adjusted. Seat adjust. Adjust the seat for optimum eye reference. Rudder pedals, adjust. Adjust the rudder pedals to allow full rudder pedal and brake pedal movement. Stow the rudder pedal, adjust crank. Seat belt and shoulder harnesses, adjust. Pre-flight procedures are now completed by CM1 and CM2 working together. EFB performance applications, select. Each pilot individually calculates takeoff performance. Complete EFB OPT required entries for runway specific performance information based on the computer flight plan. Takeoff performance check. Based on the calculated takeoff performance, CM1 inserts FMS CDU takeoff reference pages 1 and 2, select takeoff flaps. FMS CDU takeoff reference page 2.2, select. Note, surface wind or runway wind component entries are the same as the OPT entries. Surface wind or runway wind component. Runway slope, runway condition. Enter reported outside air temperature in reference outside air temperature. Unless specifically required otherwise, the normal takeoff profile NADP2 shall be used. Engine out acceleration height, acceleration height, thrust reduction height. FMS CDU route check complete. Verify that the route is correct on the route page. Check the legs page as needed to ensure compliance with the flight plan. Call for pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Flight instruments.
Cross-checked.
Cross-check. Altimeters.
QNH 1013, 110 feet.
QNH 1013, 110 feet. Parking brake.
Set.
Fuel control switches.
Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
Following the completion of the pre-flight checklist, both crew members will go back to the EFB and select terminal charts and select the appropriate charts for the departure and the arrival as needed. The EFB airport map application is selected and also adjusted to the appropriate scale as needed. That completes the pre-flight procedure.